The celebration aboard the Dominion flagship was unlike anything the galaxy had witnessed in 300 years. Admiral stood at the center of the command bridge, his scaled skin glowing purple under the victory lights. Around him, officers from 7 different species raised their drinks and cheered. The Great War was over. Earth had fallen. Looked at the holographic display showing the burning remains of Earth's orbital defense stations. Smoke and fire covered the blue planet below. The humans had fought hard, but they were primitives. They had only discovered faster-than-light travel 40 years ago. The Dominion had ruled the stars for. This outcome was always certain. "Another species conquered," said Commander, her insect wings buzzing with excitement. "The humans put up a better fight than most, I will admit, but in the end they were just like all the others." Nodded slowly. He had led the invasion personally. 20,000 warships had descended upon Earth's solar system. The humans had only 3,000 ships to defend themselves. The battle lasted 6 days. Human ships exploded one by one until their fleet was reduced to floating debris. "Send the message to the Dominion Council," ordered. "Tell them Earth is ours. Tell them humanity has been defeated." The communications officer, a small creature with 4 arms named, began transmitting the victory report. On every Dominion world, billions of citizens would soon celebrate. Another threat to galactic peace had been eliminated. The Dominion's power remained absolute. Walked to the observation window. Below him, Earth continued to burn. He felt nothing for the humans. They were simply another obstacle removed. In a few months, Dominion settlers would arrive. The surviving humans would be placed in work camps. Their culture would be erased. Their history would be forgotten. This was the way of the universe. Admiral called suddenly, "I am detecting something strange." Turned around. "What is it?" "The transmission. It is not reaching the Dominion home worlds. Something is blocking our signal." Stepped forward. "That is impossible. Our communication systems are the most advanced in the galaxy." Checked the instruments again. His 4 hands moved rapidly across the control panels. "I am not mistaken, Commander. There is a barrier, a field of some kind. It surrounds this entire solar system." Felt the first hint of unease. "When did this barrier appear?" "I cannot say, Admiral. It may have been there the entire time. We simply did not notice it." The celebration on the bridge had stopped. Officers lowered their drinks and looked at each other with confusion. Something was wrong. They all felt it now. "Scan the barrier," commanded. "Find out what it is made of." The science officer, an elderly being named Dross, worked his instruments. His face grew pale as data filled his screen. "Admiral, the barrier is not natural. It is artificial. Someone created it." "The humans." "No, Admiral. This technology is far beyond anything the humans possessed, far beyond anything we possess." Before could respond, the observation window flickered. The image of burning Earth began to shake and distort. Colors shifted and blended together like wet paint. Then, piece by piece, the image broke apart. Watched in horror as reality itself seemed to dissolve. The burning Earth disappeared. The floating debris from human ships vanished. The smoke and fire were gone. In their place was something that made his blood freeze. Earth hung in space, completely unharmed. Its blue ocean sparkled under the light of its sun. Green continents stretched across its surface. White clouds drifted peacefully through its atmosphere. There was no damage, no destruction, no sign that any battle had ever taken place. "What is this?" whispered. Her wings had stopped moving. Dross checked his instruments with trembling hands. "It was a hologram, Commander, a projection. Everything we saw for the past 6 days was fake." Could not believe what he was hearing. "That is impossible. We destroyed their ships. We watched them explode." "We watched what they wanted us to watch," Dross replied. "The humans created a false reality. They made us believe we were winning. They made us believe they were losing, but none of it was real." Panic began spreading through the bridge. Officers shouted questions. Some demanded explanations. Others simply stared at the healthy Earth with pure terror in their eyes. If the battle was fake, then where were the real human ships? Where was the real human fleet? Suddenly screamed. Admiral, new contacts, hundreds of them. They are appearing all around us. The tactical display lit up like a storm. Ship after ship materialized from nowhere. They had been hiding, realized. Hiding and waiting while the Dominion celebrated a victory that never happened. But these ships were not like the vessels they had seen during the fake battle. Those ships were small and weak-looking. These ships were massive. Each one was larger than the Dominion flagship. Their hulls were black and covered with weapons that could not identify. Energy signatures pulsed from their engines with power levels that made no sense. "How many ships?" asked. His voice was barely a whisper. Counted, his 4 hands were shaking. 3,000, Admiral, 3,000 human warships. Grabbed's arm. That is the same number they supposedly had before. They did not lose a single ship. The entire battle was a lie. Understood now. The humans had never fought them. Not really. They had created an illusion, a grand theatrical performance designed to make the Dominion feel safe. While Dominion ships fired at holograms, real human ships remained hidden. While Dominion soldiers celebrated, human commanders watched and waited. A transmission crackled through the bridge speakers. A calm human voice spoke in perfect Dominion language. "Admiral, my name is Fleet Commander Sarah. You have made a terrible mistake coming to our home, but I want you to understand something before this is over. We did not create this illusion because we were afraid. We created it because we wanted you to feel what victory tastes like. We wanted you to experience that joy, that pride, that certainty that you had won." The voice paused, could hear his own heartbeat pounding in his ears. "We wanted you to feel all of that," Commander continued, "so that losing it would hurt more." The human ships opened fire. Had seen many weapons in his long career. He had witnessed planetary bombardments and stellar destruction, but he had never seen anything like this. Beams of pure white energy cut through Dominion shields like they did not exist. Missiles moving faster than anything thought possible tore through hull armor like paper. The first 100 Dominion ships died in seconds. They did not explode dramatically. They simply ceased to exist. One moment they were there. The next moment they were expanding clouds of atoms. "Return fire," screamed. All ships returned fire. The Dominion fleet tried to respond. Weapons powered up. Targeting systems activated. But human ships were already moving, circling the Dominion formation like predators surrounding wounded prey. Every time a Dominion ship aimed at a human vessel, that vessel was already somewhere else. They were faster. They were stronger. They were everything the Dominion claimed to be but clearly was not. Finally understood the truth. The humans had not been hiding their weakness during their 40 years in space. They had been hiding their strength. They had pretended to be primitives. They had shown the galaxy slow ships and weak weapons. They had let everyone believe they were no threat. It was all part of the illusion. "They knew," Dross said, his voice filled with awe and terror. "They knew we would come eventually. They knew the Dominion would try to conquer them, so they prepared. They built weapons we cannot understand. They developed technology we cannot match. And they hid it all until we walked directly into their trap." Another wave of Dominion ships disappeared under human fire. The tactical display showed nothing but red warning lights, shields failing, engines damaged, life support compromised. The great Dominion fleet was being taken apart piece by piece. Commander's voice returned. "You call yourselves the masters of the galaxy. You have conquered hundreds of species. You have destroyed entire civilizations. You believe this makes you powerful, but you were never tested. You never faced an enemy who refused to be conquered." Watched as his flagship shook under enemy fire. Alarms screamed. Crew members ran in every direction. The celebration lights still glowed purple, mocking them all. "Today you face humanity," said. "Today you learn what war really means." 3 hours later it was over. Of the 20,000 Dominion warships that had entered Earth's solar system, only 12 remained. They drifted without power, their weapons destroyed, their engines dead. Admiral sat alone on his darkened bridge. All around him, his officers lay dead or unconscious. Human soldiers boarded the flagship soon after. They moved with perfect discipline, securing each section without unnecessary violence. They were not cruel. They were not savage. They were simply efficient. Was taken to a holding cell. Through the small window he could see Earth spinning slowly in space. The planet looked exactly as it had before the illusion shattered, peaceful, beautiful, harmless. He knew better now. Commander visited him once. She stood outside his cell, a small human woman with gray hair and tired eyes. She did not look like a conqueror. She looked like someone who had seen too much war. "Your people will try to invade again," she said simply. "They will send more ships, more soldiers. They will think this was just bad luck. They will believe they can still win." Said nothing, she was probably right. "When they come," continued, "we will be waiting, and the next illusion will be even more convincing. Your leaders will celebrate even greater victories. Your citizens will sing songs of triumph, and then we will show them the truth, again and again until they finally understand." She turned to leave. At the door she stopped. "We did not choose this war, Admiral. Your Dominion has been conquering peaceful species for 3,000 years. You believed the galaxy belonged to you. You believed you could take whatever you wanted without consequence." She looked back at him with eyes that held no hatred, only determination. "Humanity is the consequence." Watched her go. The cell door closed behind her. Through the window, Earth continued to turn, keeping its secrets hidden behind clouds and blue oceans. The Dominion had celebrated too early. They had believed the illusion because they wanted to believe it. They had seen what they expected to see. Now the galaxy would learn the truth about humanity, not through propaganda or threats, through experience. Admiral closed his eyes. In the darkness, he could still see those massive human warships appearing from nowhere. He could still hear Commander's calm voice explaining exactly why they had been fooled. The Dominion had conquered hundreds of species. They had never been defeated. They had never been humiliated. They had never been afraid. Until today. Until humanity showed them what real power looked like. The celebration was over. The illusion was destroyed. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, Earth's warships waited patiently for the next fleet to come. They would be ready. They always had been.